Fran, what did you think of your perimeter defense tonight to hold them 1 for 20 for shooting from three?
Well, I thought, right from the outset, our defense set the tone. We got stops, we got runouts, and we kind of established how we want to play. I mean, I like to think our defense was completely responsible for 1 for 20. They had a bad night. I mean, this team has better three-point shooters. Okay, they don't have the greatest percentage, I know, it's right around 30. But, normally Garner's going to make a couple, Taylor will make a couple, Banks will make a couple. I mean, they just, so they just started taking everything to the basket.
Woodbury career high, 15 rebounds.
Yeah, I wanted to put him back in there, but, I didn't even get hurt there. He was spectacular all night long because they were hard-earned traffic rebounds. That's the thing about Penn State. They're coming after the ball when it comes off the rim. So you have to be able to get traffic rebounds and be strong with the ball. Because even if you get it, they're going to come after it.
Middle of the season, a couple road games coming up. How much of a luxury is it to be able to get 14 guys on the court?
Oh, it's huge. But I think not because of how the schedule unfolds. Because that's how you need to be in this league for the entire journey. You've got to be able to go to your bench. You've got to be able to rest your guys. You've got to get productivity off the bench. We're getting points, rebounds, assists, and not a lot of mistakes. So whether we're home or away, we need that.
How encouraging you got off to such a fast start. I mean,
That was great.
They're so ready.
I mean, I thought we really were locked into throwing it ahead, attacking in transition. And, you can do that, but you got to do it. It's much better to do it after stops. We were getting stops.
Singling out a couple of guys, Woodbury and Clemens, I mean, they've played over 100 games apiece, but it looks like they're clearly getting better. Is that how you see it?
I think that's a fair statement, Mike. I mean, they're young guys with great character, and they put the time in. They study, they work in practice, they don't take anything for granted. And there's a lot to be said for going through it and getting experience in this league. It's tough to be a young guy in this league. We all know that. And the fact that they're experienced, they're playing with a tremendous amount of confidence, and they're good players. So, they're going to keep getting better.
Ahmad Wagner, we've talked about him, it seems like almost every time we meet with you here, but just continues to get better, and that dunk that he had kind of on the baseline was...
Well, especially at the time, we go to our bench and he makes a big-time play. He got some big-time rebounds when we needed some second shots, when we missed a few. But he's just a guy that really understands how to play, knows what to do. He's a spectacular athlete. He impacts the game. He's another guy who just every game gets better.
How do you view what's on the immediate horizon?
Pardon me?
How do you view what's on next week's schedule?
Well, I'm looking at this week, unless you consider Sunday next week.
Yeah.
Okay. We're off tomorrow. So I'll probably go recruiting, and then we'll start getting ready for Illinois. Tough place to play. Really, two of the better players, not only in our league, but in the country, I think. Hill, Nunn. And, so we got to be ready to play. The last couple times we played it have been really close, really good, hard-fought games. So we got to be ready for that one.
Second game in a row, the opposing coach is saying how much respect they have for what you've done with this program. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great, because, obviously I know Chris really well. I know Pat really well. A lot of respect for those guys. So for them to say that is greatly appreciated. But I view it a little differently maybe because, it's a reflection on what they think of our team or of our players. And I think, as much as I can say it, it's always about them more so than what we do. And, so I really appreciate Pat's remarks.
Do you feel like Gazelle's injuries holding his numbers down?
No, he's fine.
Why do you think his numbers have gone?
I don't know. I mean, thought he played a really good floor game tonight, just having trouble getting it in.
Coach, I know it's about having short-term memory, moving on from previous games, but what's impressed you about how this team has responded since that loss to Marion with two really good games?
They were businesslike before the game, after the game. You know, I just keep saying the same thing over and over. You know, I don't expect anything different from them. I mean, they were like that last year. And they were like that the year before. I think everybody panicked a little when we lost some games at the end of the season a couple of years ago, but you know, we played fairly well in those games. We lost to really good teams, and we lost close games, and we learned from it. We were better last year, and we were better this year.
Anything else?